Shane Mosley, of course, has been in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. Josesito Lopez was actually Keith Thurman's last opponent. So let's start right there with you, Shane.
Okay.
What would be the bigger story next week in this matchup? Manny Pacquiao knocking out Keith Thurman or Keith Thurman knocking out Manny Pacquiao?
I think that's a pretty easy question. I think that Thurman knocking out Manny Pacquiao would be the biggest story.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
definitely. What makes that the bigger story?
Because I believe that Thurman is the underdog in this fight. I believe that, Manny Pacquiao being the veteran fighter, being, 40 years old, and having the most experience with a lot of different fighters. Mm-hmm. We do know Manny Pacquiao can get knocked out, like, by
Marquez
knocked him out.
We've seen him.
So we see him get knocked out with the big right hand, and we know that Thurman likes to throw the big right hand, so it's possible.
Yeah.
But Manny Pacquiao, he has the speed and the power, the unexpected power that he has. I think that Manny Pacquiao will be the victorious in that fight.
Okay, and Mikey, what about you? What do you think would be the bigger story?
Bigger story, it can go both ways. It's a difficult one. But I also think that if Manny pulls this off with a win, with a knockout win, at this age, I think that would be a bigger headline. He hasn't gotten, the big knockouts lately. He hasn't shown that power that he did before, especially not at welterweight now. And if he were to land something and stop Keith, the younger, undefeated, champion in Keith, I think that would be a big headline.
Josesito?
I think the bigger headline would be Thurman winning a victory versus a legend in Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Most people don't agree. He looked very good. He was in a solid fight, his last fight. And we'll show what he has going.
I'm looking at you, and I'm not even realizing that you were just in the ring with Keith Thurman. So tell me, do you think Keith is going to be ready for this?
I think Keith definitely has an opportunity, especially early on. He is a strong puncher. He's fast. He uses the ring well. I think in the second half of the fight, I think he probably fights a little more defensively than he does offensively. But I think early on, it's really dangerous for either fighter.
I agree. I think early on is dangerous for either fighter. What about, and let's talk about the moment again, the moment of this being a pay-per-view fight. Do you think that this is a moment that Keith Thurman is ready for? I know we've seen Manny do it time and time again, but what about Keith Thurman?
Look, Keith has been training, for this kind of fight, and developing as a fighter to get to this level. But it is his first time at this stage, and not just against anybody, but a living legend in Manny Pacquiao. So I think he's gonna be surprised at how much pressure is built up once you're in there in that ring.
Right.
And a fight of this magnitude can be so big that he he doesn't fall through with his game plan with training. So I think it's going to be interesting because Manny's done it. Manny's done it multiple times.
Right.
He's comfortable. For him, it's just another day in the office.
Right.
But for Keith, it will be a change. And even though he's preparing himself for all this, I think he's going to be a little surprised on fight night.
Another new thing for Keith going into this fight is he's married now.
Yeah.
This will be his first fight that his wife is actually attending the match. We're all family men here. Shane, I know you could probably speak to it more than any of us. How does having family at your fight affect you in the match before the fight? How does that, come into play?
I mean, it depends on the fighter. How they feel. Like a lot of fighters, they fight for the family. And when the family is there, they fight even harder. You might get buzzed by a shot or whatever. And you think to yourself, you know what? I have to do this for my family. I have to do this for my father, my mother, my siblings, whoever. I have to do it for them. So it could be hard.
You've actually had that thought during the fight? And like in a moment of a fight that you can think of?
When I was coming up in my professional career as a lightweight, as a lightweight, trying to become world champion, and even when I was world champion, I thought in my head, yes, that I must win for my family.
And what about you, Josesito? I know you're married, so
I think in my opinion,
you were telling the story too. So tell me the story about her, because I think that's really relevant here. The story that you were telling, her first time.
Yeah, well, fight. My girlfriend got to see me fight 10 years ago for the first time. It didn't faze me at all. but I know for her it was nerve-wracking. Every punch was a knockout punch for her, you know, so it's definitely something that if you haven't experienced before, you're gonna understand what it's all about then. But I think Keith Thurman is ready for this moment. I think, you know, fighting big names already has helped him prepare for this moment.
Right.
Count it, it's a pay-per-view event, it's a mega event. It's gonna be a little bigger than the moments he's already had, but I think he's ready for it.
My son is 1.5 years now, and I've had 2 fights since I've had my son, and I haven't allowed him to attend any of the fights. So for me, it's not, I'm not worried about being emotionally affected by him being there. It's simply, I just want him to be safe, and I feel like not being in that atmosphere is the best thing for him. Family comes, you know, close friends come, and for me, it's tunnel vision. I don't care that you're there. It's tunnel vision, and I have to do what I have to do. What about you, Mikey?
That's weird, because like you were mentioning, you know, he loves it, he likes it.
Yeah.
You know, he's glued to the TV.
It's weird.
You know, but you want to allow him to come and see you. Whereas, you know, in my case, you know, my little one, and Josesito knows my little one, Django, he loves it. He comes to the gym and he'll hold his hands to get wrapped and he'll start punching. Whenever he does go, I take him to my fights.
What does he call it? What does he call it?
He calls the big arenas, he calls it the big gym.
The big gym.
He says, Daddy, are we gonna go to the big gym? Are you gonna fight in the big gym? You know, thinking it's a gym, you know, a big arena. So I want to have those moments so that he can share that and maybe one day remember, you know, those moments, you know, with the family, with myself, you know, that event. I want to get him to maybe create those memories, those moments. But you know, in Keith's, you know, point of view now, you know, in his area, you know, he's first time married, newly weds, and then maybe the first time that the wife sees him in a fight, period. And now all of a sudden it's the hugest fight. You know, that could also play in effect. It could play in
I didn't think about it, but he's like, you know, he hears a voice scream or anything like that. That might...
It might have a different effect on him that he's not prepared for that. You know, he's prepared for a fight, but who knows how his emotions are going to change, you know, hearing his wife there.
Right. Let's move forward. Manny Pacquiao, in the last 20 years, where do you rank him amongst the sport in the last 20 years, Josesito?
I would say, in no particular order, definitely top 3. He's been in this game for so long, which most people don't get to see many professional boxers last in the sport for that long. He's been fighting in the sport for so long. He's had a great career against other legends. You know, he's definitely up there. He's top 3, definitely in my book.
Shane?
Yeah, I think like 1A and 1 and 1A. You know, it's him and Floyd. They go battling back and forth. I believe that Manny Pacquiao, I think he's won titles like at 112, 106, 112, all the way up to 154. I mean, that's a hell of a career.
I could be saying wrong, but I think he's like an 8th division world champion, the only 8th division.
The only one. So he's fought everybody, and he's fought at every weight class. So he's truly one of the pound-for-pound kings. Truly. 1A, 1 and 1A. 1 and 1A, yeah,
all right.
Definitely.
I dig it. And you?
I like that. You could make the argument for 1 or 1A.
I agree. I agree.
The only one other to compare it would be Floyd. You know, so he's done it all, you know, from different weight classes, and he's fought the best for the last, you know, 15 years, and he's still competing at the highest level, you know, even at this age. So you got to give him a lot of credit for that.
I appreciate that. Okay, I got one more for you guys, and then we got to get up out of here. Caleb Plant, super middleweight champion, IBF. He's a new champion. What does he need to do to become a bigger star in the sport of boxing?
Well, I mean, look, he's a new champion. He's hungry. I see him very motivated. He's got that confidence in him. You know, he shows it. And he's got the right dancing partners. He's got the right opponents around the weight class that he can become that big star. Just a few more, you know, names under his belt, and he will be that, you know. I think he's quite well on his way. Shane, what do you think Caleb Plant needs to do to become a bigger star in the sport?
I think just continue winning those big fights, you know, with the big fighters out there. I mean, Canelo's talking about he can go to 68. You have Triple G. You have a few guys, you know, out there that can that he can fight with and become really, really big.
I agree.
Thank you for watching. Well, if you enjoyed that clip, make sure you click somewhere around here and subscribe. From fight highlights to exclusive interviews, we have got everything you need as a boxing fan right here on PBC on Fox.